This episode of the podcast is brought to you by TripIn. TripIn is the bridge for connection and the perfect planning app for any type of trip. Get planning and collaborating today with TripIn. You can download it on the Apple and Google Play stores.
All right, welcome to the Scrapyard, where
Yes,
the
sir.
conversation matters more than the actual outcome.
Today's guest is Carlos Munoz, former professional baseball player, current member of the Boys, and sport metric analyst. So before we get into the meat of the discussion with Carlos, let's start our episode with our Positivity Corner segment. Who wants to kick it off?
Let's do it, boy.
All right, I'll do it.
All right, go.
Let's go.
I had a shoot yesterday. There was an extremely lovely 6-year-old girl. Her name was, I want to say Gabriella. And I don't know.
Fair enough.
All right.
Yeah, she was part of the shoot. She was the kid in the real estate ad. And she played peekaboo with me for half an hour during a break.
That is wonderful.
Yeah, you know, she just kept on running up in different corners of the mall, running up behind me, just kept like, "Buh." And I was like, hey, you have to calm it down, right? You adorable little thing.
Did she win?
Yeah, she made my day.
She won?
She just kept on getting me.
But she won peekaboo.
Like, even during the shoot, like she'd be doing her thing, I'd be sitting on the side because I'd be waiting my turn, and then she would just look at me and go, "Bah," and I'm like, "You're a gem. You are an absolute gem."
All right, Carlos, what's going on in your life that's positive that you want to share with the world?
Maybe not my life, but
Okay.
more of one of our biggest followers out there right now. Actually, yesterday Mike Trout won his third MVP award.
Oh,
Mike Trout,
amazing.
yeah,
Oh, that's
avid
awesome,
listener of the
yes.
Scrapyard podcast. I'm very proud of you, Mike. Keep it going next year. Make it the fourth time.
That's awesome. Yeah, congratulations, Mike Trout. On my end, I watched The Mandalorian recently, and it was phenomenal. I super loved it. It
Yeah?
met all my
Your
expectations.
TV show.
And the second episode came out today, and I'm going to watch it after this podcast.
We're gonna watch it together.
We are going to watch it together.
Maybe not after this podcast because we have a party. Shout out to Ado.
Ado
Our buddy.
Inigo, happy
That's our,
birthday.
that's our
HBD.
shout out.
Yeah, the
Happy
beautiful-
birthday,
Yeah, that's
Ado
right. Thank you to
Inigo.
Ado.
The beautiful Prince of Darkness, longtime friend, huge Magic player, Ado Inigo. Happy birthday.
Professional
birthday,
Magic
buddy.
player.
Okay, so before we again continue on with the discussion, let's start off with our rapid fire questions. We need to name this segment also. I just realized we can't just call it rapid fire question segment.
All right, okay, we'll figure that out later. 'Cause
Okay,
nobody's
if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments or send us a private message. Okay, Marco, kick it off.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Do you like birds or dogs?
Dogs.
Birds or dogs?
That's it. Rapid fire.
Oh,
This comes,
God,
comes
okay.
coming to me
It's fine,
too.
it's fine.
All right,
Fire.
what animal do you think you would be?
Ooh, I would be a bird though.
That's
Oh,
it. Trick questions,
Heck
baby.
yeah.
Fire or water.
Ooh, fire. Hell yeah.
That's it, dude.
Do you wipe your ass standing up or sitting down?
Both actually. It depends on the situation.
Really?
It's a
yes.
hybrid.
Wait, sorry.
Yeah.
I need to pause. When does a situation make for a better standing up wiping?
Bro.
If you feel like you were messier, you do it sitting down,
Okay.
right? Are you guys have the same?
No. You're like first ever half breed, bro.
Wait.
Choose
if
a
you
side.
feel like you are
Carl.
messier, you're sitting down. So when you're safe, you're standing up?
Yeah, because you're not gonna make a mess standing up. Unless if you're sitting down, at least you clean the mess before you stand up, before it gets anywhere else.
You must be really in touch with your asshole. Being able to tell how dirty it is. Like,
No, you can tell by your stomach if it's bad or not, right?
that's true.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's true. Fair enough.
There you go,
Okay,
rapid
okay.
fire.
Okay, I'm still
Okay,
going.
Marco, go.
Legend of Aang or Legend of Korra?
And easily.
Nice.
That's a good answer.
Mm.
Who would win in a fight, a bear or a gorilla? Assume equal weight.
Ooh, I would probably say gorilla.
One of those guys.
Uh,
think
yeah, we'll talk about that.
Gorilla
some
Squad
other
will
time.
have a full episode dedicated to that.
They can punch.
All right, who's a better fighter, Mike Tyson or Bruce Lee?
I am not a fan of you. Bruce Lee, I would say Bruce Lee. He's
Nice,
Asian.
nice.
Okay, good. That ends our rapid fire question
Yes, sir.
segment.
Ooh.
That was pretty good. There was a lot to unpack there.
Nice.
Um,
I'm proud of us.
Right. So welcome to the show, Carlos. It's
Glad
good to
be
have
here,
you
glad to
on.
be here.
Longtime friend, longtime teammate, and former professional baseball player. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Professional baseball player in what sense? And how was your experience generally being? And why are you not currently a
Yeah.
professional baseball player?
Yeah. So I started playing baseball at the age of 4. I always wanted to play professionally for a living one day. And when I hit 17, actually, I was recruited to join the national team, the Philippine national team.
Awesome.
Sick.
And yeah, I played with them throughout college, a bit after college when I was working already. They paid me a salary. It wasn't much, but I guess technically makes me professional. Yeah. Then yeah, from 2011 up to really 2018, early 2018, I was playing with them, and I stopped recently. Focusing on work really right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
for context, how well does the Philippines do in like a global baseball stand?
Yeah. We're actually much better in baseball than we are with other sports.
Really?
Yeah. Like if you look at compare our rankings with other sports, really. At one point we were ranked, I think, 19th in the
Oh,
world.
in the world.
In the world, yeah.
Top
when I
20.
first joined in, yeah. Our biggest problem is we don't get enough funding to actually fund the program, send a team abroad to actually compete more often, and to get a higher ranking, you have to play more games abroad. So because we're not getting
Right.
that, we dropped to like I think 31, 32.
Hmm.
Yeah, but we are very competitive. In Asia, at least, like if we don't get fourth or fifth place, we didn't have a good tournament.
That's amazing.
We aim to get at least fourth or fifth. Yeah.
I didn't know we were good at any like team sports. Like all we had
no,
was
we're amazing.
yeah, we had boxing, we had billiards at one point.
Yeah.
Remember that?
We had one guy with billiards.
We had a beast at billiards. But dude, that's amazing. I had
Yeah,
no idea
yeah.
we were doing so well.
Yeah, no, and even right now, the women's baseball, we have a women's baseball team now.
Got third.
They got third place in Asia, yeah, which is
Yeah.
huge.
Amazing.
And it's their very first tournament abroad, I think.
Yeah.
Or one of their very first.
Damn.
Yeah, they
sh-
beat China 11-1.
Yeah, and they killed Korea. I forgot. They
Yeah.
killed Korea, which you don't see in baseball. Like, Korea kills us.
Yeah, that's true.
Shout out to the Philippine women's baseball team. Well
Yes,
done,
sir,
girls.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Call me.
Uh, fair enough. So professionally, what made you stop? Was it really the lack of funding and the lack of support that really sort of killed, I would say, your career in the Philippines?
Yeah, I'd say not. It's more of just getting my priorities straight because your ceiling is only up to there playing professionally in the Philippines. Your salary, your progression, really. I mean, you're basically at the top already with where you can be, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I decided to focus on my job in the corporate world because, of course, so much more room for growth, so much more room to earn a lot of money.
Of
So
course.
it made more sense personally just really pursue that over playing baseball.
I get
Okay,
that. I get that. Can we have some money?
I will think about it after this episode.
Huge.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Did you ever consider going abroad to play professionally? I know the
Yeah.
professional leagues in other countries are quite supportive. There's a lot of
Yeah.
funding.
Yeah, I've tried. I've gone to Japan a few times. Well, one time really was more of a real and actual tryout with a semi-pro
Yeah.
team in Japan.
Sick, dude.
Nothing really happened, but I tried. I've gone to the US a few times to train to actually go to showcase camps.
Right. Yeah.
Mostly for college schools back then, because that's really the entryway into getting professional there, is going through college first. But yeah, never really worked out. Yeah.
How
never
big
worked
is
out.
the difference in like skill or like physicality once you go into that level of showcase?
Yeah. So skill, I actually think we can sort of compete. Like I went there. I'm not gonna brag, but I was dumb in the U.S. at least. When I was 20, playing as a bunch of 19, 20-year-olds also, and I had a very good tournament.
Awesome.
But I mean, physically, they were younger than me. Some were my age, of course, also.
Mm.
But I mean, they were way bigger than me. And playing professional sports, especially baseball,
Yeah.
you're playing 162 games a year.
Yeah.
You have to be
Mm.
physically strong and able to actually survive that season if you want to be able to actually play professionally. for
162 games a year.
a year.
Yeah.
yes, in
yeah,
6
it's
months.
a long season.
Yep.
It's a long season, and you play almost every day. So I guess it's a big factor. Why do you think that do you think that physicality difference is related to that same issue of funding? Like for example, here I know for a fact that the Philippine baseball team, for example, their gym infrastructure is quite terrible. There are constant rats and flooding
Rats.
issues. Yeah, no, straight up.
Johnny's siblings both play also, actually.
Awesome.
Yeah. They're both there, and
Mm.
they tell me about the rats.
Christ.
Yeah. Well, really, if you think about it, it's not really the funding side because what sport are we most underdogs at? It's really basketball,
Of course.
Right.
and all the funding goes there. But end of the day, they make the money, they get the views, they have the
Yeah.
fan base, so
Yeah.
you should support them over teams that don't really get as much.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, in my opinion. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's understandable too.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like for example, the difference between like an American player at a similar age compared to a Filipino player. Do you think that there's also a big difference in the terms of physical therapy, physical conditioning?
Definitely. Well, you've been with me in the World Series.
Yeah, I
We're
remember.
in South Carolina, and just a regular college school. So it's, I mean, of course, a D1 school. It was Clemson. their facilities were, I don't know how, maybe 1,000 times
Insane.
better.
Ultra
Than
state
what-
of the art.
Yeah.
State of the art.
Much better than anything you get in the Philippine setting. Better than what the Philippine funding can actually get you, really. So that, I mean, getting physically fit through those programs, through those facilities, staying more, how do I say it? Having recovery because of that. It's easy to recover. A lot of that is not available to us.
Like
those
physical
facilities.
care, like
Yeah,
after physical care.
absolutely.
We aren't taken care of as well as those athletes are, really.
Is this the world famous World Series team that I was supposed to manage?
You did actually manage
That's it,
us
guys.
in the
That's it.
nationals.
It's still
yes.
there, man.
Yeah. You were there in the nationals, the tournament.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
I would
for
love
you?
to tell this story really quick.
Go
These
for it.
guys were so monstrous at baseball. It got to the point that they could bring on friends that had never played baseball before because they knew they could carry the entire team, even though we'd have chances to bat. So I practiced twice. Johnny throws a ball so hard it bounces off the ground into my chest, and I lose breath, nearly pass out. Baseball is not an easy sport for someone with bad eyesight.
Yeah, we were like, because you need 9 players to play a team. We were basically essentially 9 players for that team. And
Yeah.
we needed more guys because you can't just go there with 9 players, right? So we invited all our friends, football players, Marco, just to join us in the
Dude.
tournament for fun.
So
worked out.
it turned
Yeah,
out
we
it
still
turned
won.
out I wasn't the right age group. I was like 2 months older than
Yeah.
everyone else, and I was cut off. So I was ultra fucking bummed. And I was like, still going to practice because you guys are my friends, and it's a really good time to like go to
Yeah,
practice with
yeah.
you guys. Because you guys are just making you're
hanging
just
with the
joking.
boys.
You're joking the entire time. It's
Uh-huh.
the least serious practice ever.
Yeah.
But you guys, it's amazing to watch you guys in your element. You guys are monsters to what you do. It's fucking sick. And then when it was like the day before we were gonna leave, the mom of our friend Dia, who was also part of the team, shows up and says, "Marco, I know you can't be in the team, but here's a jersey because now you're our manager, baby." Ooh, got to travel with the team. Got to hang out with Johnny when he dislocated his shoulder again.
Yes.
Yeah, that was it.
Keep
That
him
was
Good
warm.
times.
Did we play? What's it called? What's that game? Monopoly Deal.
it. Yeah.
Like madmen, bro.
I know. That was that was a
Dude,
good time.
great memories, man.
Yeah. In my defense, though, for hitting you in the chest, I did not know that was you.
Oh
We were just doing routine practice. So I just threw it. I was like, oh my god, it's Marco.
It's this guy.
just God.
Dude, if it got me in the face, man, it looked so different. That was
There goes the career.
that ball was fast. I blinked and I couldn't breathe.
Yeah. Oh well, I'm sorry for that. But yeah, going
Not
back.
sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, going back to that World Series tournament and the Clemson facilities, I still think to this day that one university facility was better than anything we have in the Philippines, including private institutions.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
Well, it's
phenomenal.
college,
No,
man.
any athlete walks in, he wants a protein shake like that. He gets his protein shake.
That was the
Oh.
biggest thing for me. I was like,
Crazy.
"There's no way free protein shakes."
I have to ask my dad, "Dad, please, it's only 3,000 pesos. Buy me one."
Yeah, and then they have physical trainers, physical therapists at beck and call.
Yeah.
And that's so big. Like for example, like Marco mentioned, he witnessed me dislocate my shoulder.
Mhm.
I am now a cripple for life and can't play sports forever because of my shoulders.
Yep.
And that happened because one, when you dislocate your shoulder the first time, it becomes very easy to dislocate it again.
Yeah.
The first time I dislocated my shoulder, my coach at the time, Eking, shout out to you, you piece of shit, did not believe me and sent me back out to play.
I remember that. Great
It
times.
was so painful.
Great
It
times.
was so painful. So I forced it, and I've had ruined
Well,
shoulders since then.
For Eking's benefit, I mean, you had dislocated 14 times before. I mean,
no,
if you-
this is the first one ever.
oh, that's pretty sad.
The
then.
first one ever.
Oh.
He did not believe me and sent me back out to play.
Bro, if you
Yeah.
were in Clement, man, someone else would be making you drink protein shakes. You wouldn't have to lift your arm ever again, bro. You'd be like this.
You get a straw.
I want a baby sip.
with
baby.
a baby umbrella.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. So I totally agree with you for
Uh-huh.
just having someone who knows their shit. And also because even after that, all my rehab, I only found out this year that I've been rehabbing my shoulders completely wrong the whole time.
It's kind of sad, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I finally got an MRI, and the doctor's like, "Wow, I've never seen
More messed
like
up
this
shoulders.
is super fucked up." He straight up said, "You need surgery or shoulder replacements in the next 10 years or something." And I was like, "Wow." And I was like, "Okay, I can't afford surgery. It's quite expensive for both my shoulders.
Yeah.
Mm.
What can I do?" And he told me how to rehab, and I was like, "Oh my god, I've been rehabbing literally the opposite muscles the whole time."
But is
Damn, bro.
rehab enough? Like when you get
It'll
older-
help. It'll help with the random dislocations. Like
Yeah.
when I sneeze and my shoulder dislocates, it's a bad time. It'll help with that.
What the fuck?
That's happened.
You're gonna need actual surgery eventually, right? Because if you're old,
Yeah, no,
Like,
he
it's so
said
much worse.
by the time I'm 50, if I haven't had surgery, I'm 100%. I'll need shoulder replacements.
I'm saying this completely sober.
Yes.
If you need a donor for shoulders, man, I've got you.
Thank
Mark
you.
this in your shoulder.
I don't need it, man.
We have that on videotape. So
I'll give you gladly one of my shoulders. Have my left one, dude. It's the
thanks,
strongest
thanks.
one.
That's great. But I'm just hoping that in I've basically 24 years left till I need shoulder replacements. I'm just hoping that we have robot shoulders by then.
Yes.
So technology, please do your thing and give me
Or
robot
some
arms.
crazy stem cell research.
Yeah, or something.
Like
Jesus
in-
God,
inject
just,
into your.
Yeah.
just give me a fucking chance, man. God, I'm in pain.
Eking.
Fuck you, Eking. Fuck you.
Man, John, childhood trauma and
Again,
shoulder
okay, yeah,
problems.
I know,
There's a lot
Jesus.
going on,
This is
man.
the
Unpacking a lot of
The
stuff.
trauma podcast.
Yeah. Johnny unravels in
Yeah.
front of everyone. Yet
It's
again.
Johnny's trauma diary at this point.
Yeah, God. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
We are moving on.
So, apart from your professional baseball career and your very celebrated amateur career as well, we've also introduced you as a sports analyst. So I know you took a sabermetrics course. I'm sure 100% of the people listening, maybe one or two, will know what sabermetrics is. Can you go into a little bit of detail on what that is and why you took that
look
course?
at me and
Yeah,
explain it to me because I don't know
yeah,
what that
well,
is.
basically sabermetrics, Society of American Baseball Research. That's SABR, what stands for.
I actually
So-
didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
They have an actual like society where you can be a member and everything.
Okay.
And basically, sabermetrics is the analysis and everything of baseball statistics. So I was googling it one time. I think like 2015. I was super bored. I was in the middle of an internship, and I was like, what can I learn besides this internship? I'm not really learning much here, right? So I googled it, did a quick Google search. I found an actual course online from Boston University. I took it, got a little certification, and I guess I'm a certified sabermetrician in a way. Yeah.
So what exactly is sabermetrics? So in the realm of typical sports analytics, for example, in baseball, you have your basic stats, right? How many home runs you have, what's your batting average. In basketball, you have field goal percentage. What's sabermetrics and what separates it from these normal counting stats?
Yeah, because you don't realize these regular counting stats are just numbers in a lot of them actually. Like they have, get into baseball, batting average or like runs batted in. They're numbers statistics that show and try to rank players based on these stats. When in fact, if you look and dive deeper into them, they don't actually contribute much to your team actually winning games.
Interesting.
They don't really, and a lot of it's based on luck. So what sabermetrics does basically is to look deeper into the stats, find the statistics that actually contribute more to team wins, try to find ways for you to actually contribute to your team as a whole, and individually as a player also, because everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses. It all started really with Bill James and Moneyball, I guess. Also,
Yeah, I was gonna say this sounds like Moneyball stuff.
Exactly.
It's literally Moneyball, yeah.
Yeah,
This is
Moneyball
the same
was the
stuff.
beginning.
This
yeah.
is Moneyball.
That's how it sort of blew up. Although there was forms of it earlier, Moneyball did bring it to the forefront, and it's gotten more and more advanced. I think right now, if you look at baseball, it's actually the most advanced statistical sport from the major sports. At least I can't talk about the race car driving or whatever, but yeah, from the major sports, team sports is the most advanced right now. And yeah, sabermetrics is really looking deeper into how you can find ways inefficiency in the game and how to beat these inefficiencies and beat your team as efficiently as possible.
Damn, like a sports scientist.
So sort of, I guess, but I mean, I can't say that I just took a certification course, right? And I read a lot about it, but I'm not really. Yeah.
Dude, you sold me, man. You sound smart as fuck.
Yeah. So it's an interesting topic because it's I think sabermetrics and this whole idea of like digging deeper into the statistics behind the sport. You're right. It really is a lot on baseball. For example, luck is it's an actual factor, and you can actually.
Can you quantify luck?
Yeah.
You can.
No way.
Yeah.
Actually, I read an article the other day also by 538, and they're able to compare sports, the major team sports, to see how many games it takes for you to get to the point that luck and skill, both apply to basically half a team's wins.
That's fucking cool.
Sick.
And if you look at, I think basketball's 11 games to
Yeah.
get there. So in reality, you only need more, maybe like 20-ish whatever games to actually for an NBA season, not that much.
For you to get the real like value.
Yeah, because it reaches 50-50 at 11 games. Baseball takes 67 games.
Wow.
So
Interesting.
yeah, I think American football is like 12 or something, which
Right.
their season's pretty much that long.
And you aim to have a 50-50? Like what was that 50-50
no,
metric do?
that just means once you pass at 50-50, you can actually start separating skill from luck. It takes that many games to separate,
For it to be like a sample size that's worthwhile.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Oh.
for all you fantasy analysts out there, if you're trying to figure out whether this player is riding a hot streak or is actually
You have to wait
talented.
11 games.
11 games.
Yeah.
Whether to see it's only luck or something else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a little
Oh.
fantasy basketball tip for all of you in the
That's
middle of your
sick.
seasons right now.
Johnny needs
60
it.
games. So
Yeah.
if in baseball, someone can be hot for 60 games, and it can be
Oh
quantified
yeah,
as
no,
well.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, yeah.
60 games.
Because it's 162 games, right?
It's
Right.
a long ass
So
season.
60 games is more or less 2.5 months.
Okay.
In baseball, yeah.
So if I played well in 62 games, I'd be telling everyone about it all the time, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
And then just retire and be the player that never was.
Yep.
Exactly, dude.
Like just
Cash in.
yeah. So that's actually really interesting. Do you think so there's a lot of like luck based metrics and these are quantifiable, for example, per
Mhm.
specific field. So different stadiums have do you think baseball has the highest variance? It probably does, huh?
Variance in terms of what?
In terms of the field you're in.
I would say yeah, because a
'Cause it actually
basketball court
changes.
is the same.
It's standardized,
A
right?
football field the same thing, yeah. But baseball, depending on which stadium you're playing in, everything is.
It's completely
It's
different.
funky,
It
yeah,
changes
it's
how you
funky.
play.
Yeah, that's why. Well, going back to baseball, when you actually take into account these advanced metrics, you always take into account the stadium that the games are actually being played in,
Yeah.
Mm.
because you can't. It's not standardized for all stadiums because
Yeah.
everyone has their own little nook and cranny in different dimensions. Yeah.
Does the
Yeah.
game of baseball evolve much, like throughout the years?
Oh, yeah.
Because
It's
in,
crazy,
in
it's crazy.
basketball, they change a lot of things too.
Yeah.
Like an offensive rebound now, you only have like 14 seconds to shoot again instead of a new 24.
Oh,
the
you mean
actual
like the
rules.
Yeah,
actual-
like the actual rules
Mm.
change, like just because they want to make it more exciting for the viewer. So they cut out all the fat, like the moments in the
Mhm.
game where like, oh, this was negligible. It would be more exciting if they had to, pick up the speed a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Because the problem with baseball now actually it doesn't evolve in the way basketball does.
Yeah.
That's why like those rules don't change. It's more of how you actually play the game that changes in
okay.
baseball. I meant like basketball like started shooting more 3-pointers.
Yes,
that's something
absolutely.
they added, right? So baseball, that's how they change the game, doing something differently, really.
So how do you think the game has changed in the past 5 years?
Yeah, the biggest change really is the whole launch angle revolution.
Absolutely.
Everyone's trying
Launch
to hit home
angle
runs.
revolution.
Yeah, because these days, well, back in like the 90s, well, even earlier, people weren't really throwing that hard. Like maybe 90 miles, 95 was crazy. These days, everyone hits 95 to 100 miles per hour easily.
Really, that's a standard now.
Yeah.
and it's easy to do. So
They're just stronger now, or like, is it the
I
same
guess
field, same
not,
kids?
I guess stronger.
Better
not-
condition.
Yeah, better conditioning, better training,
Yeah.
better recovery. So
Right.
all of that, I'm sure, is taken into account.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think right now, like we're at the peak of. I think in general, in all sports, we're at the peak of human athleticism right now.
Nice.
Absolutely.
I
Very
think all
cool.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's one reason, and because of that, it's hard to actually score runs in baseball. You can't just string hits together anymore because this pitcher throws so hard. Just hit a home run. It's
And
1
it's
point,
ru-
right?
I
So
get that.
everyone's trying to hit home runs now. Yeah.
Mm.
So it's I think it's also a little bit. I remember you, Marco, told me about this. How basically the 3-point game has changed.
Yes.
Mhm.
So it just basically gives you more points per possession.
Yes.
I guess
yeah.
similarly in the same
Yeah.
way, if you try to hit a home run, it gives you more points per.
It's just
at
more.
bat,
It's
yeah.
more valuable.
Yeah,
to the
it's
team.
just
Correct.
more valuable.
Yeah,
Mm.
everyone's shooting 3-pointers. I don't watch basketball much, but back in the day, big guys couldn't shoot.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
No,
it's weird.
No one cared, man. Shaq misses all his free throw. He's
Exactly.
still Shaq, dude.
yeah, that's
Look
true.
at him go.
Yeah.
Diesel.
But I like what you mentioned about how they changed the offensive rebound rule, sort of to keep it more exciting.
Yeah.
I think one thing in baseball they're doing to keep it more exciting, and this is a bit controversial, is in this past year, the whole juiced ball
Mhm.
scenario.
Yeah.
What juice ball
So
scenario?
this year there's been by an incredible margin more home runs hit than any other
Yeah.
season by far. And so the running theory is that the balls are juiced. Carlos, can you explain a
Yeah.
bit more on how the balls are juiced?
It's it's actually not a theory anymore. They've been proven that the balls are actually juiced.
Oh, cool.
What they did was they've tightened the seams really on the baseballs,
Okay.
which gives it less drag in the air, so the balls fly
Go
further.
faster.
Yeah, well, more of I guess go faster when they're hit, fly further. The one question they have now is why is this happening? Because MLB doesn't really, they don't want to admit that they've changed anything, so they're looking into it, having all this research
Yeah.
done. But it's been proven that the balls are actually juiced. So this year it's been a crazy year for home runs in baseball.
Damn.
Yeah.
And this is so because home runs are probably the most exciting thing in
Yeah.
baseball, right? When you hit a
Yeah.
home run, everybody's like loses it.
Yeah.
So more home runs technically means
More viewership, more
Yes.
media, more
just
money.
more exciting in general. Because I think right now, well, baseball's America's pastime. I'd probably say now it's maybe the third biggest sport. I'm sure basketball's overtaken it by now. Of course,
Basketball
American
has,
football's
yeah.
probably
Football
number one
still,
probably,
yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the
Interesting.
whole juiced ball fiasco, and it's been sort of a running thing this whole season. Any other things in this season that's struck out to you, Carlos?
We were talking earlier about something we were gonna tell Mark about in the podcast. What was it again?
Was it the Astros?
I think it was the Astros.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some scandal you're
yes,
talking
yes.
about.
Right.
Yeah, we want to hear your
Actually-
take
yeah,
on
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Good to hear Marco say because he's not
Yeah,
not
I don't
into
know
it.
shit. Hit me with
Yeah,
it.
so basically, you know what? In baseball, when you're pitching, there's a catcher. He gives you signs, signals
yeah,
on
little
what
signals.
pitch to throw, right?
Mhm.
And it's been part of the game forever, where you're in a player in the dugout. You want to try to decode these dugouts or
Yeah.
find
Yes, yeah.
decode these
The strat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
try to find out what the pitcher's gonna throw.
Yeah.
So what Houston did in 2017, a report came out recently. What they would do is they would have a person sit. Well, they have a camera, set up in center field.
A camera.
A camera
camera.
with clear view of the catcher giving signals, and someone would stay in the back in the locker room somewhere there,
Decoded.
decode these signals and like bang a trash can X number of times to say which pitch was coming, so the person batting could hear and know what was gonna come.
Fuck.
That's crazy,
Okay,
right?
that is. That's, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
How do I feel about it? I feel about
Yeah.
like because it's always been part of the game to decode it, but to take tech
To
That's
take
why,
tech.
and
exactly.
relay it to that level and then
Yeah.
have that big of an advantage on it, kind of doesn't that feel like it's kind of robbing the sportsmanship of the game, kind of?
I think so
Absolutely.
too, yeah,
Right, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Because like, there's a line between being competitive and like straight having a guy in the back, like,
Yeah.
with numbers and being
Bang a
like,
trash can.
like, what's his official position? Like, is he part of the team? Like, does
I
he
have
get a
no
ring
idea.
also?
I have
Probably
no
not.
idea.
Because he's a genius. Like, he's,
They won that year, so I guess he should get a ring.
yeah, he,
right?
got,
Yeah.
he gets something, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's sad about it also is the 2017 Astros and the 2019 Astros are two of the greatest baseball teams ever
Ever.
in history.
So this
And
kind of
and this-
tarnishes their legacy. a
it
little bit.
absolutely does. Because now,
Yeah.
whenever you bring up these two amazing teams, and regardless of whether this was happening or not, these are two quantifiably just stacked, amazing, incredible teams. And,
Yeah.
and now people are only ever going to bring up the fact that they were cheaters.
See, the
Yeah.
funny part is that was always part of your game, though. Having to decode that. So, where's the line between being unfair and unsportsmanlike
Yeah. No, I think as soon as you introduce technology, then it's
Yeah.
going too far.
to that degree?
Yeah.
I think so. And no, any form of technology, really, because that's not something you should be able to have access to in the game.
Yeah.
Right? In any
Okay.
game.
I see where
can
you're coming
have-
from.
You can have technology before or after the game, but not during. That's
So if you
where
used
I
a
stand.
telescope, it would have been fine. If you used an old cell phone, it would have
Yeah.
been fine. But because it's cameras, you know what I mean? Like that's the question
Like,
I'm
maybe
raising
not
now.
an old cell phone, but I guess a telescope. Why not? Yeah.
A telescope is fine.
See,
But I don't
exactly.
think you'd need one. For
Yeah,
the
yeah,
dugout.
a telescope and like because I mean again the pace of the game is so fast that if you had a telescope and you're trying to relay it, it would be very difficult. And if you could pull it off,
Yeah.
you
Oh, wait.
deserve it.
So the guy with the camera is also recording it so he can rewatch old ones and just kind of compare, kind
No,
of
no,
like
no. He's basically he just has a camera there set in center field. I'm not sure who set up the camera,
that. Mm.
but that gets transmitted to guy in the back, and the guy in the back is decoding it while he's there, and he's the one banging the
Yeah.
stuff.
So the guy banging it has real time, very clear vision of whatever the catcher is trying to
Yeah.
signal,
So are we?
and it's
at-
easy
are-
enough to decode.
Are we like in the consensus of if he was using a telescope, we would all be okay with it and it's not cheating?
Telescope and no contact
And
with the
if he was a
person in the
member,
dugout?
if he was a member of the team,
And
yeah.
if he was a member of the
if
team,
you're not a member
Ah.
of the team, then that's not really. It's taking it too far. I
that's
think.
cheating. Yeah.
Well,
That's
what's
like having someone in the crowd flash lights on people's eyes.
again?
right?
This is
Yeah.
this is again someone that has no like.
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
What's the difference between like someone that takes care of it, like a a super good physiotherapist, and that guy?
Because it's
you're,
not.
you're strategizing around a certain players' like needs, strategizing. Like, I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I guess it's different because that guy would be doing it before, after games, or only if he's actually needed in the game, not trying to gain a competitive advantage.
Right. So
Where this is really manipulating the rules and the game itself to gain a competitive advantage over the opponent.
yeah, always trying to
Yeah.
be on the same team. So just because it's during the game, it's bad.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
not
but-
just that. I think also, I mean, the difference between physical therapy is sports in general should be really centered around the physicality aspect
Yeah.
of it, right?
Okay.
It's a celebration of the physical aspect of playing the sport and competing at your utmost physical level to that
Okay.
sport, and at some level, a mental level, right?
Mm.
Introducing technology kind of negates that. You're right. It just removes the physicality aspect of trying to decode something in game, trying the best. It just puts a completely unfair advantage to the side that's using technology.
Okay, again,
Yeah.
going back on tech, where do we draw the line on tech? Because there's all these like weird, different sort of like like I don't know, muscle like what are relaxants while you play, different sorts of like what is having that special Gatorade thing cheating now? The thing that pre, post, and during, because
It's-
that's during, and that is new tech,
Yeah.
right? It extra hydrates you, it keeps you like I don't know, you know what I mean? These are the things I want
Yeah.
to figure out.
Well, I think that's more a question of like performance enhancing physical things, and where do you draw the line to that, right? Like
yes, so that's why I would have been.
And yeah, besides that, like it's something regulated and that's something that's allowed by the game.
yeah.
There's no
This
rule,
was not.
There's no rule that's saying you can't drink this Gatorade during the game or have this whatever during the game. But there's a specific rule where you can't have any electronics in the dugout used for that. And
Was
I
that
mean,
at the dugout?
it wasn't, but he's relaying it
to the
technically,
dugout.
He's in the clubhouse, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Or think about it this way,
Interesting.
to make it a bit more clear to the comparison. It's like if in basketball you had a guy in the crowd who had a camera pointed at the coach's playbook the whole time. So whenever they made a huddle, he would know exactly what their play was and relay it to the opposite team.
Yeah.
It's just the difference between like trying to steal someone's playbook though and watching people relay messages to each other and like because people do that, players do that. Like there's
Stealing playbook? Yeah, exactly. If
No,
you
no,
do
like-
it in game, that's fine.
like Rondo's done that. You remember when they were in the dugout, they were all in the side, like
Yeah.
having a timeout. It's like I don't know, 3 seconds left for like
and
a game
Rondo's
shot.
in there.
No, he's just in there.
Yeah, yeah.
he just
That's
sneaks in
okay.
there. That's okay, but that's okay, but not the camera recording one.
Because if he's in there, he needs to be in there.
No. He's in the other team. Like
Yeah,
he's,
yeah.
Yeah,
he's
but his
snuck
face is
in
he's
there.
actually his face is
He's
there.
physically there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Ah.
okay. But if you have
And he's on the
someone
court.
at all times off the court, like in the stands, with a camera pointed at the playbook, relaying it to the other team constantly, so every play they make, you know exactly what their orientation is going to be. Do you think that's an unfair advantage?
Yeah, because going back to sign stealing, they actually have some players who are very good at like noticing a pitcher doing some things, or might even see the catcher do it, which is fine. If
Which
he
is
tells
part
his
of the game,
teammates.
yeah.
It's part of the game because he's part of the team. He's not breaking any rules against it. But when you start bringing technology that way, I think it's
Okay.
too far
That's the
in there,
line.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Yeah.
getting a clear picture of that. Interesting.
yeah.
Wow, what a fucking scandal, dude.
Yeah. It's pretty intense.
And only their second biggest scandal this year.
Oh, you have another one?
No,
Is that first one sexy, dude? It's
the
always
the
kind of
first
sexy.
one's not. This other one is not as. It's not as well. It's juicy, but not in a good way.
Okay.
Basically, the Astros a few years ago traded for a player who's domestic abuser.
That's
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, yeah, it does suck, but yeah, you have to sometimes give players a second chance, right? You can't.
Yeah,
always say
of
you're bad.
course.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. It depends.
It
what
always
the standard
depends.
is.
It always depends on
Yeah,
the thing.
but so you could say maybe they were giving a second chance. Maybe he recovered, whatever. But what the assistant GM of the Astros did this year, the Astros beat the Yankees.
Nice.
In the playoffs this year. And right after the game, during the celebration, actually after the celebration, there are a bunch of female reporters in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
And their assistant GM started shouting at them, "I'm so glad we got Osuna, the domestic abuser. I'm so
Right.
effing glad we got Osuna."
Right.
Basically rubbing it in their faces on 3 girls. One of them is a big advocate for, domestic
For
abuse.
non-domestic
abuse. Yeah. And so because of all of that happened, then the Astros basically released a statement trying to discredit the reports about that incident and the reporter.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's pretty bad.
That is pretty bad.
Not only
Yeah.
their assistant
Like
GM
personally
do all that.
discredit this reporter.
Yeah,
Like
try to
actually-
basically it ruins a reporter's career, right? If you
Yeah.
discredit her piece and
That's
everything.
true. Fuck, God. The
Yeah.
Astros,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
not trying to hate, but
Man,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. So it sucks. It's just bad for baseball in general.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's not a good look for
Not a good
anyone.
look.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the Astros start trading away pieces to the Rockies or something. I don't know.
they could
That-
use it.
We could
They
use
could
it.
definitely use it.
The Rockies aren't.
It's
aren't
also
too good.
Trevor Story's birthday. Johnny is
Happy
wearing
birthday,
his
Trevor
shirt.
Story. I'm wearing your jersey. If you are listening to this podcast, I love you, you baby blue-eyed god of the infield.
And we know he is.
Yes. Moving on to other sports-related drama, there's a bunch of things that have happened recently, and I kind of want to
Yeah.
hear your thoughts on it. Let's go into the recent NFL drama.
Miles Garrett, I think. is
Miles
his name.
Garrett.
The
Yeah.
football helmet
Oh,
swinging
right,
guy.
of the
yes.
Browns.
Yeah,
No,
the
this was what we're going to talk about also.
Yeah.
The helmet
Wait,
swinger.
where did you had something to say about
Yeah, I was
this,
gonna
right?
say like
Wait, before we get into it, let's give some background
Okay,
to the
go ahead.
listeners. So basically, what happened was during a kerfuffle.
nice.
That's the word I'm going to use because NFL terminology I'm not entirely sure of. But during a kerfuffle, one player named Miles Garrett basically got into. What happened? What is the name of the other guy even?
I don't
I don't know,
know.
but the
So Miles
the-
Garrett basically ripped off the helmet of the other guy and beat him over the head with it.
Did you watch the video?
Yes.
Yep.
You watched the video?
Yes.
and the John Boy breakdown.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, you want to go 1, 2, 3 and like your thoughts on it?
No, you had specific thoughts, right? You should,
Yeah, because
you
when
should
I
go
watched the
first.
video,
Yeah.
it looked like one after he tackled the guy he tackled had like extracurricular.
Yes.
Like,
No,
Yeah.
no, no. Absolutely.
absolutely right. So
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
So the tackle seemed clean-ish. Or
It was clean.
Was it
Yeah.
dirty?
No, it was a regular NFL
Regular tackle. The guy that he hit overreacted, and then they got steamed like most athletes do, and then the guy got kind of surrounded by two other players. So it was like a mob mentality, self-defense.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
kind of like, is it cool to grab someone's helmet and beat the shit out of him? Absolutely not. But when there's 3-on-1 and you're panicking at the same time and you're also not the instigator, I was kind of like, oh, okay, that made me think
Yeah.
twice. And then I researched even more. And he has a pretty like consistent record of being an ass. So that also brings it, like, you know what I mean? Like if it's a guy that's never done it before, you're kind of like, oh, he lost his cool. He's panicking. He's scared. These are all football players who are all kind of equal sized.
Yeah.
So if anyone swings anyone, someone could die at any
Yeah.
point, right? Right? Anyone.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
helmet or not, like you could really fucking get hurt. So
Yep.
add that on top of So I don't know. I've seen people panic at fights a lot. Especially in college. There's a very big herd mentality when you're backed into a corner. You'll grab anything and do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So bringing that experience into that story, it kind of turns into I don't know. Like, what would you do if there was 3 crazy guys all taking you down at
Yeah.
once? The instinct is to grab anything, and it didn't even look like did he know that the helmet was gonna come out? No, but now he has it in his hand, and those 3 guys are still there.
Yeah.
So it turns into fuck these guys. Like I'm not gonna get killed today.
I don't know, just because I'm pretty sure he knew he was removing the guy's helmet.
No, when you're
Yeah.
grabbing someone, but
Yeah.
actually for it to come off, actually surprising. You're like, oh
yeah,
fuck.
yeah, but then to use that to hit the guy's head of the guy without the helmet. I mean, if it's self-defense, you're trying to get out of there, just push away the other guys. Here, it looks like he really targeted at the one guy, hit him
Yeah.
in the head.
So
So
Again, self-defense versus panic is
Yeah.
my thing. Because when you're panicking with 3 dudes, and again,
Yeah.
things just end up the way they do.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not condoning the fact that this guy grabbed the helmet and swung at him. I'm just saying this is the fear mentality of someone that's
Yeah.
under attack.
But here's the thing. I don't think he should have been afraid. This is football. This is literally an every second occurrence. You are
Also true.
always getting
Yeah.
tackled and surrounded by
So the
big,
guy that
burly
got
men.
mad shouldn't
Yeah,
have gotten
no.
mad, or the guy that
He should have gotten mad, but he shouldn't have almost
yeah,
killed
because
someone.
at
That's
that
true
point
also.
also, he was really just being held back.
yeah.
He wasn't getting punched or anything by the other 2 players. that were
Also
holding him.
true.
Except
great
for
point.
until
Wait.
after the helmet bash, and then
It
Yeah,
got
I
real.
went
It
off
got-
that.
it got
oh my
super
god,
real.
it went
But at
literal
that point,
WWE.
it's done. Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, that got super real after
Yeah.
that. No, great points. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and of course, what you shouldn't do that. It's why it's a bad thing, especially is because if you think about it, that's their workplace. You guys work together
Yeah.
in Green Bay. What if there's one little fight and Johnny like hits you over the head with a bottle or something?
That happens every other
You
week.
shouldn't be getting. I mean, that shouldn't be happening in an actual workplace.
I like
environment,
that.
right?
That's a super
Yeah.
good point too. Like the
Excellent point, no.
professionalism
Yeah.
part of this
because
story.
for them it's work. Like I work in a bank. That's their version of the bank, really, right? That's their workplace.
Yeah, there are
Mm.
things you keep out of the workplace, and that's one of
Yeah.
them. That's actually a very good way of putting it.
Yeah, that is a super good way to putting it.
Yeah, I mean,
What
that's
a helmet
someone's
swinging
livelihood.
asshole. Fuck that guy, man.
Yeah.
Probably should get banned for the rest of the year.
Yeah, he's also had like
Yeah.
2 records before of unsportsmanlike conduct with violence also.
Ooh.
So it's literally it's like his thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Dang. Have you seen that guy? Like, 'cause when I searched him, because I didn't really know who he was, like, the first picture that came up was him without a shirt. Holy shit! He's the most jacked person I've ever seen in my life.
All these NFL players, they're the most jacked.
For
person.
sure.
Yeah, I know,
For
but this
sure,
guy was
dude.
like, even among NFL players, this guy was monstrous.
yeah.
So that's a literal deadly swing, because I mean, it doesn't matter how jacked you are, a head's not gonna get muscular, right?
Yeah.
That's also true.
yeah.
Like, he's lucky
Fuck.
when he hit him with the helmet. He was hit with the underside of the helmet, right?
The soft part.
The soft part.
Yeah.
Because if he got hit with the opposite end, that could
Would've
have been a
clubbed it.
fractured
Yeah, could've-
skull.
would've
Yeah,
flat-
that's true.
Could have been
That is
actual
true.
murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the field.
Yeah, that would have been insane, huh?
God damn.
Yeah, jeez. So yeah, violence is it's never the answer, I guess.
Yeah.
The
dude.
Scrapyard podcast does not condone violence.
You know, if
We
they weren't
never
such
do.
homophobes, they could have just hugged it out, maybe kissed. Yeah, like,
it's always the answer. It's how me and Marco resolve all our fights.
quick kiss on the mouth. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm
It's
sorry.
like-
Mwah.
Yeah, we're good now, baby.
Never
Don't worry
again.
about
Never
it.
again.
Yeah, that's how I do.
Fuck, dude.
That's intense.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the sportsman. Like that was a super good point there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I put it in like an animal. My mind frame was animal state. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
college.
Where we just freak out, grab the nearest
you,
thing.
You
yeah,
see a lot of it when you're
It's the
young.
boys.
Yeah, when you're young. When it's the
Yeah.
boys. Yeah, especially when
boys.
you're young. You know what I mean? Like, we were in a car park once, and my friends fought this stranger over parking because
Amazing.
or whatever, right?
It
And then
happens.
like what happens is much smaller person, us 3, all relatively large. We're all like 6'1", 6'2", 6'3". This guy's like
And
5'8".
you're jacked.
Oh, bro. Carl, thank you, man. Like,
Yeah.
I can do 6 push-ups.
Oh.
So a bunch of 6-footers and
So a bunch
Marco
of
the
6-footers.
5'11".
We're also surrounding this guy. We weren't touching him or anything, and we were the ones keeping it cool. But his friend was down the hill and saw 4, 6
Yeah.
plus guys surrounding him. Ran full speed and just bopped someone in the back of the head, and my friend's entire neck just. His name was Austin. Like he went a 180, like almost passed out midway through. Just goes, who the fuck did that? We're all like, oh shit, what the fuck's going on? And I was like, guys, listen, when you see it from their point of view, one, they were foreign, so they weren't from here.
Yeah.
I guess they were like in a herd mentality and they were scared.
Of course.
It was over parking and it was kind of retarded because we went out of the car. Like, you know, we
Yeah.
escalated. You know what I mean?
Of
Like,
course.
we didn't mean to, but when you see it from a third person's point of view,
It's
it looks like we're
understandable.
gonna kick his ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So his friend being, I guess, ultra quick thinking but kind of stupid also, fucking runs at him like, I'm
Just
gonna take
bops
down
him.
as many people as I can.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we calmed it down. But like that was the experience I had in mind when I thought of that, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know, scared, irrational, didn't think
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
not excusable, but still like just explaining a mind frame as the one person that would do that in adrenaline.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
I-
adrenaline is a huge factor in all that
yeah.
kind
Of
of
course,
stuff.
yeah, you just stop.
I can absolutely
black
get
out.
that.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the scrapyard vote? Was it justified or not?
Oh no, completely not.
Oh, it was
Not at all. It was all
attempted
just-
murder.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
Yeah, it was not good.
So we're all in agreement.
Yeah.
What other
Wait,
sports?
But,
Oh, go
what,
ahead.
what do you guys think about it? I mean, comment below, let us know. Watch the video. You know?
Absolutely
what I'm
true.
saying?
That's true. We'll put up a link to
See
the
what the fans
video and let's see what you guys what y'all think. Moving on to other sport drama. There was another kerfuffle. It's my word of the day with Carl Anthony Towns and who is he fighting?
Oh, wait, let me try to remember.
Joel
Joel
Embiid.
Joel
Yeah,
Embiid,
yeah,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was another WWE
S kind of fight, yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
The funny what's all the memes after when
Yeah.
they focus on Ben Simmons choking him out. He's all like, "Calm down, dude. Bro, calm down. Stop fighting." And we always have that one friend, right?
Yeah,
Like,
he's choking someone
like
out.
he's physically beating someone too, but he's telling everyone to be cool like while he
Yeah,
does it.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know. Like that one seemed kind of like normal basketball. Like people get heated, people
Of
say
course.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking smack.
Yeah, again, all the teams separated too. No one got hurt again. I
Yeah.
don't know. Again, they all see these are young kids that are doing it too.
That's true.
Is
they're
that
both young.
football guy young?
I
These
have no
basketball
idea.
guys are young.
He probably is just because
Yeah, no,
most
I-
NFL players are
Yeah.
young.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
one plays above unless you're like Tom Brady.
Right, the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like these are kids. You know what I mean? They're
That's true.
gigantic
Yeah.
kids.
They're
you know what I
monster
mean?
kids. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool because now we have a rivalry that's like worth watching.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
Yeah, two studs.
two super studs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then Ben Simmons, the guy choking someone out.
Bro, he gets bitches, man.
I can-
That's all he does. Choke people from behind. Like, hey, you like that? Calm down,
I
baby.
can super respect. It's funny because that actually happened to me where I was the choker too.
Yeah.
First freshman year college, when I was in ME, there was like an ME sports fest,
Yeah.
and there's this one event where it was like capture the flag or something,
Mm.
and it's super intense because like, first of all, fuck ME, right?
Yeah.
I didn't really care, but my blockmates dragged me into it,
Mm.
because I was a stud.
Okay,
That's-
do
that's
you,
what-
man? Do
yeah,
you?
yeah. And then yeah, so my then rival, the only other jacked guy in the chorus was like the one I was gunning against,
Mm.
and it got intense. It was capture the flag where you basically just run and grab a flag and try to run around and hold on to it by the end of the end of the match. And there's one flag which is worth like 100 points, like the snitch or something.
Right.
So anyway, we both got it and things got anyway. Long story short, things got heated. and I choked him out.
Well, how do you jump from like this catching a snitch to like a bunch of wizards like having
No,
a great
stop showing his
time?
butt.
And I choked him.
Yeah, for like 2 seconds, I was like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened."
So you
yeah.
got heated from
yeah,
capture the flag
It-
to
it-
the point
it
that you
was super-
choked him.
Yeah, yeah.
You're a fucking
happens.
dick, dude.
No.
Come on, man. We don't condone violence.
Yeah,
The
dude. What are we
point of the
talking about?
story
What
was
happened
that
then?
yes, I was definitely in the wrong there,
And he was young.
but I can get it. I was a young stud. That's what we're talking about.
Back in the day.
Sometimes you really want that flag, man.
Yeah, dude. But I did get that flag, and
You won. The
Yeah.
choker won.
I won.
Not the best lesson.
Not yeah. That I was not penalized for that.
Wait, it's the Philippines. We're not good at that, dude. We're not good at penalizing violence.
We're not.
Remember that fight with Australia in the Philippines
Oh,
in the
yeah.
basketball
Oh,
thing?
yeah.
Oh shucks.
Where there
yeah.
was like
The flying kicks and
12 of
everything.
us, and there was like 3 of them that fought physically.
Yeah.
I forgot about
12 of us. Like,
Wow.
I don't remember
I
who
remember.
started it. I don't remember
Terrence
what.
Romeo.
He started it.
Yes.
Fucking terse.
Yeah, I remember he threw like legit punches.
And okay, so I don't know who started it. Again. Probably him. But it turned into a 3 versus 12 because there's a bunch of rules where you shouldn't condone violence, right? And you
Yeah.
can see the complete contrast between the two kinds of articles that were released. The Australian teams like this is not reflective of Australia. This is not reflective of sports in general. We do not
Yeah.
condone this. Like they'll be suspended, they'll be whatever. Like this is
Yeah.
wrong, and this is not what should never be repeated again.
Yeah.
Well, in the Philippines, the first
my
thing we
God.
said was it was fucking laban, dude. like puso, bro. There was like
Puso
yeah,
Pinoy.
dude. There's 12 of us,
Man.
dude, and there's 3 of them. We were winning. God, you're just like,
No.
dude, like
Yeah,
that kind of stuff
yeah,
makes you
yeah.
cringe.
It's not
man.
any team; it's the national team.
And it's the
right?
It's the
national-
national team.
It's
Yeah.
a lack of forethought. You know what I mean? Like when
Yeah.
you're making statements like that, you're affecting the people that listen, the kids, and they're all like, yeah, you think it's cool when there's, I don't know, 12 of you and 3 other people, and like, oh, it's national pride because it was on TV. You look like, everyone looked like an asshole. Everyone that
Yeah.
fought looked like an
Everyone.
asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it turned into a game of assholes backing up assholes, backing up assholes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah.
I don't think we ever really even got an apology from the Philippine side, right?
No,
the-
we,
Yeah.
Australia apologized for sure.
yeah,
Like,
Australia did. I don't think.
I don't,
we
not that I
Yeah.
recall.
Well,
maybe
yeah,
not.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
We'll see about it.
But yeah, isn't that kind of sad? You know what I mean? That's the culture that carries over onwards.
Yeah.
Dude, like I've seen some Philippine basketball teams. I watched this one game. I forgot what league it was. It was Philippines versus Hong Kong, and it was in the Manila. And our own crowd started to boo our players because
Awesome.
it was just we were continuously like cheap shotting and being violent and like throwing
Wow.
tantrums on the court.
Well, good for our
Good for us
fans
for
then,
like
yeah.
good for the fans for like stepping up. But like you know when you're part of your home team starts acting like that and you're all like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what the fuck is
Yeah.
going? Like, like halfway through, I was like, dude, the Hong Kong their point guard's guapo, dude. He's handsome, huh? Like, I like
He's
this
stud.
guy, dude. You know what I mean? Like, man,
Yeah,
dude, yeah,
dude,
tough,
violence.
bro.
And basketball, I think in general, dude, like even especially like in pickup games though, like is it just me?
No,
Every pickup game in the Philippines, you're gonna get elbowed or like
No,
like
or-
straight up just like gut punched at some point.
High school,
God.
you always have no blood, no foul, right?
That's true.
Playing in the ACC.
that's it. Good.
Yeah.
That's good times, dude.
Good times. 2-2, no blood, no foul.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, that's between friends. That is between strangers.
Yeah.
Also.
Between
It's-
strangers and like a random high school kid just like gut punches you
Oh
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no. Me and Johnny played recently, and that did happen.
against
what?
children. I literally had to pull one aside. Like, look, my shoulders are fucked. I'm not gonna play hard, so chill out. Cause this guy was going so hard, like slapping and everything. I'm like,
Yeah.
guys, I just wanna make some
Bro,
sick hook
There's
shots
literally
here.
a stereotype about that. People that take pickup games super seriously.
That's
Like no one,
true.
no one likes those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know if you want to play the Y game. Maybe they identify with basketball as a defining factor of who they are, and if they don't play well, they're-
Those failed athletes never made it
Yeah.
anywhere.
it could be anything. Could be anything. They could be having a hard time at home in basketball. So like, if I'm not playing well,
That's true.
nothing's
Yeah,
going on for me.
nothing's
to
My
do,
life
you know what I mean?
sucks.
Plus, they're kids. It's always
Yeah.
when they're kids and stuff gets a
They
little ahead of our.
they will mature.
Like,
I
dude,
mean,
I'm 26. Sometimes I get mad about stupid shit still.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
But do you think it's an inherent part of the game of basketball, or do you think it's part of the culture here? Because, for example,
That's
baseball in the
interesting.
Philippines, zero violence,
That's cool.
lots of
Yeah.
smack talk. I have never
I like
witnessed.
that.
Has there any in Philippine baseball history?
a fight.
Can you think of any? I can't.
We once had a bench clearing incident, but
Huh? When?
in UAAP.
When? Against who?
Against UST, LaSalle against UST.
Oh yeah. You're
but
right. Yeah.
nothing happened. It's
Of
really
course.
both benches cleared, started talking.
Yeah,
but
talking smack.
That's it,
That's
yeah.
what we're good at. Baseball players. We
Yeah.
talk a lot of smack.
Yeah, I don't think it happens for
All
us.
right, you want to be super scientific? Maybe it's a mix of what's it called?
It's Baseball's also a non-contact sport.
Yeah,
And I
no.
think it's-
Once contact's in, there's a lot of little things people do in basketball that will fucking piss another player off, and it's like not cheating, but like here's a simple one. If you're bigger than me and we're trying to get a rebound, I put my shoe on your shoe. I step on your foot.
That's
you
annoying.
can't. It's annoying as fuck, but you can't jump, and
Yeah.
I can't jump. We both can't jump, so
Yeah.
someone else can get it. And you know when it's again a contact sport, just fight like 10 players constantly moving around. There's a lot of cheap shots that happen
Yeah,
midway through.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but and I think also you said earlier because there's in basketball it's a faster sport, so there's so much more adrenaline going on
Right.
than
There
to
is a
in
lot of
baseball.
adrenaline going on.
Like if you look at baseball, most of the actual fights in professionals is when a pitcher hits a batter,
Yeah.
which doesn't really happen often here because we don't police that way.
yeah.
But basketball, it's so much more adrenaline. You're really just on the fly doing
That's a
things
good point,
sometimes.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the speed of the game and you brought up culture, like the culture of basketball
Yeah.
itself, like it's fighting. I don't know, but what's it called? I have noticed certain like areas where just some courts are rougher and everyone just agrees with it somehow.
Mhm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I
Yeah.
don't know. Like you'll just go to a court, people are getting elbowed and shit, and no one is saying anything. Some guy's bleeding, and you're like, okay, like I guess
Yeah.
this is socially acceptable here. I guess this is the way it's run.
And then sometimes it translates off the court, like when Kobe Bryant beats women. Got him.
God damn.
Got
dude.
him.
First of all,
Lost the listener.
First
Kobe. We're done here.
first of all, he hit women. Kobe.
Right? Wasn't that his thing?
That wasn't his thing,
That's
dude.
Roberto
Yeah.
Osuna.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's also-
from the
First
Astros.
of all, that was a rape case, and it was
Ah.
dropped, sir. All right.
Only because he scored how many 60-point games in succession?
First of all, that was a Dave Chappelle skit, and that's not his fault. He played amazing under pressure. All right.
Fair enough. Okay.
Plus, I
anyway.
think in the details of the case where, if from my memory, again, I don't know, she came out with like a bunch of other sperm samples also, and they were like, oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know about that. Like when
Yeah.
they swabbed her. I don't know.
Yeah,
It was in
I
Dave.
don't
The most info I got from it was from Dave Chappelle's skit, which was fucking hilarious.
Okay. I wouldn't know either. I just wanted
Going
to throw
back
a jab
to
at Kobe.
going back to the Joel Embiid cat fight.
Mm.
What do you guys think about the whole both them taking to social media? What do you think? You
I
guys love it?
personally love it. I
Yeah, I
love
love
when
it. I
drama
absolutely love
spills
it.
over to social
I absolutely love
media.
it.
It's my favorite part of the game.
Yeah.
I love talking smack. It's just all part of it. It's like an extra layer to the game where it's a little
Yeah.
showbiz.
Yeah.
I
It
like
turns
it.
the
Yeah.
NBA like the WWE, man.
Yeah, very showbiz.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the same thing. It
Yeah.
gets viewers. It gets us
Yeah.
excited to watch them play. Oh no, I see nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
I love it. I love having an external narrative kind of play in
Yeah.
where you see him play a little harder. You get a bit more
Mm.
invested in the game. I think it's good for the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always been part of sports anyway. Like even when they talk about Shaq and Kobe now, they emphasize the fact that it was showbiz, even though they didn't
Yeah.
feel like it was at the time, and the only people that really know are them too.
Yeah, my only regret was there wasn't any Twitter around when Shaq was playing. Shaq would have talked.
On Twitter,
Oh my god,
sure,
that would have
dude.
been
Yeah.
so fun to watch.
Shaq hilarious. Well,
Yeah.
Kobe keeps posting inspirational quotes. He didn't do it. It's like back of his jersey, arms up. I didn't do it. 81 points.
Yeah, I like it, and I like how it carries over. A lot of young players across a lot of sports. Like this morning, Christian Yelich, another young
Yes.
absolute stud in MLB right now, was talking shit to one of the top like MLB pitchers,
Yeah.
and it was fun. I like seeing a little. I like seeing a little sauce. I like seeing a little drama.
I think
good
it's better for
sport.
the game overall.
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes it way more interesting how you have all these narratives that you bring into the game. right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like wrestling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which we all love.
Of course.
That's absolutely true.
Wrestling's the fucking shit. We're gonna have a guest that's a wrestler, by the way.
Yeah.
By the way, we're at the 51-minute line.
Wow. Okay. Well, we're a bit over time, so I guess that wraps up the episode.
Oh yes.
Any last words, Carlos? You wanna give anyone a little
Like
shout
a shout out, anything.
You wanna
plug in?
You wanna plug anything you're doing?
Yeah. I have like 2 million followers out there on Instagram.
That's it. Classic.
No, I
Carl.
don't actually. But shout out to my boy Ado. Happy
Yeah.
birthday again.
Happy birthday
Happy
again,
birthday.
Adits. We're about to
yeah.
actually celebrate with your family.
Support all Philippine sports. SEA Games is coming up.
Oh, that's nice.
That's awesome.
Try to watch whatever you can. Support however way you can, and that's bring the gold to the Philippines. You know.
Nice,
That's awesome.
dude. Very
And,
cool.
yeah, that's fantastic. So thank you everybody for watching this episode of the Scrapyard. Please do not forget to like us on all social media. We have Instagram at scrapyard.ph. We also have TikTok at scrapyard.ph. We promise we will put content there soon. We're on Facebook at scrapyard.ph. Please like and share our stuff. We post occasional memes. Well, actually, no, we post daily memes,
Awesome.
and they're pretty great. What else have we got? We have a YouTube channel. We link it in the show description. Please subscribe. We need to hit 100 subscribers so we have an actual channel because of YouTube's new stupid rules. Yeah, and please, whatever your thoughts are, if you have any suggestions for guests, any comments on the show, anything you want to add, if you want to name any of our segments, they're all up for debate. Please do.
All right, this has been Marco Suarez.
And Johnny Altamanta.
And Carl. So.
Nice, dude. Killed it. All right, thanks, guys. Love you. Bye.
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 Scrapyard.